We usually think of a life story as belonging to a person. But what if an institution could have one? I'm talking about something like a university or a company, or in this case, an army regiment with an identity that's been going strong for centuries.
I mean, how is that even possible? Well, today we're going to trace the unbroken lineage of a single fighting unit, all the way from colonial frontiers through two world wars and even the birth of brand new nations. It's an absolutely incredible story of survival and transformation that stretches over 170 years. And our story, it doesn't start with a number or some official designation. It starts with a nickname, a name that was earned in one of the toughest, most dangerous places on the planet, the Piffers.
So, what exactly is a PIFer? Well, it's short for the Punjab Frontier Force, or a PFF. This was this legendary group of soldiers. We're talking cavalry, artillery, infantry, the whole lot. And they were given an unbelievably difficult job. They were the guardians of the frontier, a place that, let me tell you, demanded the absolute toughest of the tough.
Okay, so let's jump back to the very beginning. Let's see how this one specific regiment was basically forged in the fires of that very frontier. The unit was officially formed way back in 1849, and there was no gentle start for them. Nope. They were almost immediately thrown into some of the biggest conflicts in 19th century India. I mean, from the Great Mutiny, just 8 years after they were founded, to the Second Afghan War, it was just a relentless trial by fire from day one. And for decades, this was their main gig, keep order in a region that was famous for having none. The records say they did it with great aplomb, which is such a classic old-school British understatement. It basically means they showed incredible skill and bravery under constant, life-threatening pressure. So as we roll into the 20th century, the entire world is changing. And the Piffers? They were about to be pulled from the frontier they knew so well and thrown onto the world stage. Because then came the First World War, and it changed everything. Suddenly, the regiment wasn't just fighting local tribesmen anymore. They were shipped off to Mesopotamia, what we now call Iraq, to fight the Ottoman Empire in a huge, mechanized, and just unbelievably brutal war. Just look at this list of campaigns, from the bloody battles on the Tigris front to the capture of Baghdad, and then all the way over to Palestine for the Battle of Megiddo, which, by the way, was the fight that pretty much ended the Ottoman Empire's role in the war. This was a whole different world from the mountains of the northwest frontier. And the price they paid for this global service? It was immense. Over the course of the war, the regiment suffered 1,679 casualties. And to put that in perspective, nearly 400 of those men were killed in action or died from their wounds. For just one battalion, that is a truly staggering cost. It really just hammers home the sheer intensity of what they went through. But survival isn't just about what happens on the battlefield. For a regiment to last this long, it has to adapt. It has to roll with the punches of reorganizations, reforms, and massive political earthquakes. And you can really see that whole journey right here. You can literally track its history just by following the name changes. Each one of them marks a major shift. It starts as the 2nd Punjab Infantry, then it becomes the 56th Punjabi Rifles, later it gets absorbed into a bigger group, and eventually it lands on its modern name. Every name change is like a new chapter in the book. Now, 2 changes were absolutely huge. First, after World War I, the British Indian Army looked at the massive scale of that war and decided to restructure everything. That's when our regiment got grouped together with its sister Piffer units. But the biggest, most profound change of all came in 1947, with the partition of India. Just like that, overnight, the regiment was allocated to the brand new nation of Pakistan. Its flag changed, its national allegiance changed, but its history, its lineage, that continued. Which brings us all the way to today. After all that conflict, all that change, what's actually left of that original unit from way back in 1849? Well, this right here is the payoff. On one side, the name it was given at birth, and on the other, the name it carries today. It's the same unit, the same continuous institution. You can draw a direct, traceable line through more than 170 years of history. That original unit from 1849 never, ever ceased to exist. It evolved, it changed its name, it changed the flag it served under, but that golden thread of its history was never broken. And today, it continues to serve with distinction as the 8th Battalion of the Frontier Force Regiment in the Pakistan Army, carrying that old Piffer legacy right into the 21st century. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? We just saw how a single name can hold 170 years of conflict, change, and survival. What other incredible stories are hiding right there in plain sight, in the names and institutions we see every single day?